the open public. :4-6 at C, annual notice having been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the New Jersey Sunday Herald and posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcement. Will you please rise? You know what I mean? A salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Here.
Mr. Patternick, Ms. Crock,
Here.
Councilman Kusavich, Mr. Mezalowski,
Here.
Mr. Rossi,
Here.
Chairman Ray.
Here.
Ms. Snow.
Here.
Mr. Taylor,
Here.
Mr. Wagner, Mayor Glotty. Here.
Okay, next item on the agenda is minutes. Motion is in order to approve the minutes of the September 2nd, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve it?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kusavich,
Same.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Glotty. Yes.
Okay, we have two resolutions tonight. First resolution is SADA Construction. The hearing date was on July 22nd, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? I'll make the motion.
Second. Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kusavich,
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Glotty. Yes.
Okay, second resolution is Howard Properties LLC. The hearing date was August 5th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Last board members on that one.
I'm sorry.
Four, that means Marie and
Yeah.
Sheldon.
I'll make the motion.
Judy made one first, but.
Oh, you get a second? Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski.
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Our next item is correspondence. We have any correspondence? No, okay. Escrow refunds, we have none.
Good.
Bills, we have bills for Mark McDonald, Dolan and Dolan, and the New Jersey Herald. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to pay bills.
Second.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kusavich,
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Glotty. Yes.
Okay, zoning officer report. Bill, anything?
I have one brief thing. It's a question about a dock, and it's a boathouse, and I'm only talking about the side dock. This,
Okay.
the picture. On the one picture to the right, you can see they're a concrete side dock. That's actually a wash.
Underwater.
A wash right now. And what had occurred is it was, raised. And I'm pretty much taking the position that really is just a form of maintenance. It's getting that walk area out of the water, so it's not in the water. There have been people who are saying, no, that's a new dock and da, 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 da. So I just wanted to check to see what the board's thoughts were on that. It's just in general, is it really a maintenance item or is it, a new dock?
He's just improving a
I
pre-existing
don't-
structure, right?
I don't have a problem with it. It's much more safer this way. It's out of the water, so it's not any further out than what's there. I mean, I don't see a problem with any of it.
Yeah.
And I think it adds safety by removing the concrete out of the water, so.
Yeah, it's a hazard. It's underwater, so.
I absolutely agree with.
The support structure wasn't changed.
No.
It's modest. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all.
All right, discussion, no discussion, old business? No. New business? No. Okay, we have a continued application tonight and one new application. From what I understand, the continued application, we should be pretty brief.
Well, it's.
But it's 303 Lakeside Boulevard LLC, 303 Lakeside Boulevard.
It's listed as a continued application, really it would be a new hearing, it was renoticed, the board may recall that there was a problem with the tax list that was provided to the applicant, so property owners didn't get notice, not due to the fault of the applicant at all, but because the list wasn't accurate.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Bankendorf from the law firm of Askin Hooker, representing the applicant who is here this evening. I asked my experts not to come in this evening because we're still trying to work with the neighbors Now that they've been noticed correctly, they have some concerns, so we're trying to work out those concerns prior to bringing the application before the board, so the board doesn't have to make a tough decision. At least two of them are here, as well as the attorney for the other one is here, and then I think there's a third one I still need to get in contact with. So I'm working on that as well. So hopefully after this, I can go out there and speak with them and see if we can start resolving these issues that they have.
Are you asking?
Oh, you asking, yeah. you
I'm asking for the matter to be carried at least a month so that I have an opportunity to revise the plans in accordance with the negotiation that's hopefully going to start tonight.
Okay, without notice?
That would be without notice to the second meeting in October.
Okay,
which
Yes.
is The
The 21st.
21st.
Yes.
okay. Do I have a motion to carry this?
Before we carry it. And I just offer,
A little bit of testimony?
you just offer a concern from my review of the plans, because it was previously done by Mott. And then something you can take with you in your review.
Yeah, I do think the plans are going to change though, just so we're not wasting or spending.
No, and that's not about proposed improvements. It's really more your zoning and your lot configuration from the survey. There are, the survey is calling to the other side of the road as part of the property. And from the right of way that needs to be dedicated out from the property, from the current deed, right? There's right of way that exists. So the setbacks need to be relative to the observing the right of way. Because right now they're showing to the other side of the road. And then the zoning analysis of the lot acreage, the impervious coverage, the variances that are being asked are going to change from what we would provide if we're going to provide a vote of approval. So just take a look at that and then reconsider. There's 2 points of evidence along the frontage of the property that would appear to be the edge of the right of way. And with that, your proposed garage is an encroachment into the right of way. So you should take that
we
into
can't have
consideration.
that.
You could take that into consideration in
Sure.
your
I
analysis.
like, yeah, and I think that's part of what the changes are going to be to the plans.
Sure.
Mr. Vooch, is it?
Yes,
Mr. Vooch, have you prepared a report on this application?
I had not, a little bit of miscommunications in when we received, because it was a continuation, so we were gonna work off of the Mott letter.
Sure.
And then, give us the opportunity with your revision to issue something
Okay.
in supplement to the Mott letter. I think the Rushkey letter covers most of the application as it stands now well. And I was gonna work off of that to alleviate some costs to your applicant.
Okay, yeah, so maybe we can schedule a call with you and our engineers, so you guys can start working on that. I think that makes it even more appropriate that we take a month to start working on that, so we can go back and forth a couple times between the engineers.
Okay,
Thank you very much,
Did you
appreciate
say
that.
without notice?
without notice. Yeah. So anybody that's,
Yeah, just gonna set a date.
Yep. what was the date?
The 21st, October
October
21st.
21st.
I'll make the motion.
Motion? Second?
Mr. Schurla,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kusevich,
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Glady.
Yes.
Great, thank
See
you,
you
ladies
next
and
month.
gentlemen, have a good evening.
Next application is Weldon Quarry LLC, block 70001, lot 1, Woodport Road, Hopatcon.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. Good to be back here. Rob Simon from Herald Law here on behalf of the applicant Weldon Quarry Company LLC. We're here for amended site plan approval. Just by way of background, just to orient the board, this is a quarry and we're focusing on the aggregate processing plant and stockpiling area in the northeastern corner of the property, which currently consists of what we call primary crusher and a secondary and 2 tertiary crushers, which in essence reduce the size of stones and smaller stones, and then screens which sort the smaller stones by size. And what we're here for tonight is just an amendment to locate and operate within the existing quarry operation in the center of the quarry yard, a new aggregate processing plant consisting of a new secondary crusher and 2 new tertiary crushers, replacing the existing secondary and tertiary crushers at the property, which will now be approximately 1,000 feet closer to the existing primary crusher and further away from the site entrance. And we're also proposing a new screening process at the property. So all improvements here will be replacing what we deem to be aging infrastructure with more efficient, safe, and modernized equipment that are also going to reduce some sound levels with the use of rubberized liners on the screens and sound reducing liners. There's going to be no change to the scope or manner of the applicant's quarry operations, while at the same time improving the efficiency of the operation through the reduction of circulation and movement of trucks, et cetera. You'll also hear some testimony regarding the use of high pressure sprays to reduce dust throughout the processing of material. So, and we've been before this board, this applicant has been before this board a number of times, probably 5 or 6 applications over the years, most recently in August 2016, when we received amended site plan approval to replace and relocate the current primary crusher and install a conveyor belt. And now we're just really kind of doing the same in terms of the secondary and tertiary crushers and moving them closer to the primary crusher for more efficient operations. We have not identified any variances, waivers, exceptions in connection with this application. This is a permitted use in the M2 zone. However, obviously, to the extent that any relief is required as part of this application, which we do not believe is necessary, we'll certainly be applying for it. We are asking for, as we have in prior applications, a waiver for an environmental impact statement, given that we're not proposing to really expand the quarry operations at all, but just replacing equipment with newer, more efficient models. So this evening, we're going to have 3 witnesses. We have Bob Weldon, a member and manager of the applicant, Richard Blake, president and CEO of Malat, the largest manufacturer in the United States of stone crushers, who's going to talk about that process, and also Eric Keller of Bowman Engineering, the engineer on the project. We also actually have Kevin Jones, also the quarry manager, to the extent any questions are asked that require him to be sworn and provide answers. So with that, we'd like to start with our first witness.
Okay, so what you're proposed to do, everything is inside of
Everything's
structure you got, so you're working with it, you're not expanding, going one way or the other, everything is.
zero expansion. We're actually making it a lot better in a lot different ways. So we're going to go over that.
Should be fairly quick.
Okay, so Mr. Weldon, this one.
Well, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, your full name, sir,
Robert Weldon.
and how are you related to them?
I'm the president of Weldon Quarry Company.
So, thanks. So, Mr. Weldon, as the site plan, which has already been submitted to the board, is being set up by our engineer, Mr. Keller, but you can just kind of go through some preamble in terms of who you are, how you're affiliated with the applicant, and what the purposes of the application.
Yep, my name's Bob Weldon. I wanted to give you a little history about the piece of property that we're talking about tonight, and also my family company, so that you have a little background. So the property that we're talking about is 900 acres on the northeastern part of town. And in the 1960s, a asphalt paving company called Tri-County bought the property and put up a quarry and asphalt plant. So Tri-County was a family-owned business, and in 1990, they ran it for 23 years. In 1990, Tri-County sold it to a British company called Wimpey Materials, and Wimpey ran it for about 6 years. And then in March of 1996, Wimpey sold it to another British company called Tarmac, and Tarmac needed to sell this piece of property by the end of the year. So my company is based in Union County in Westfield, and we also have a stone quarry in Watchung in Somerset County. So we got the opportunity in December of 1996, and we were able to acquire the quarry in Apatcon, as well as 3 other asphalt plants, 2 asphalt plants in Rockaway, 1 asphalt plant in Roseland, and 1 asphalt plant in Kearney. So in 1996, when we acquired the company, I actually got to come up and be the family member who got to be part of getting us up off the ground here. And so for 8 years, I got to come to a PacCon every day and learn the quarry. And at that point, I have gone back and started working in our other quarry in Watchung. My family business, I'm the 5th generation. So my grandfather's grandfather started paving roads in Rahway down in Union County in the 1870s and ended up buying the quarry in Somerset County that we still run today. That's where he bought stone from. So this was really the biggest acquisition that we ever made, and it's been a wonderful thing to be able to come up here and be able to have the opportunity to work with everybody up here and to work in front of this board on a handful of occasions. And so tonight we're looking to upgrade equipment that was put in 1967. And the crushers and the screens are older. What the major problem is the steel infrastructure that helps support it. The conveyors, the walkways, it's all 60-year-old steel that's actually falling apart in front of our eyes. MSHA, the Mine Safety and Health Administration, which is federal, goes around and visits all the quarries in New Jersey and all over the country a few times a year. And other quarries in New Jersey have been getting red flagged, not being able to run for about the same situation that we're in right now, where back in the 60s and the 70s, nobody was concerned about dust. Dust just went up in the air. Now, for the last 20 years, we're putting a massive amount of water on all the conveyors, all the screens, all the crushers. So 12, 14 hours a day, water going onto steel over decades. It's just worn the equipment out completely. So we're hoping to get the okay tonight to move the existing structure back into the quarry, further back into it. When I was here in August of 2016, we sort of have two different areas of the plant. One's the primary crusher and the other is we call the secondary plant. So in 2016, we came here and we moved the primary crusher back about 2,000 feet into the quarry. And it helped us. We got some of the noise away from the neighbors in Jefferson, really. And we also moved it closer to where we mine, so we didn't have to truck the material as far to get to the primary crusher. So tonight we're hoping is phase 2, where the secondary plant. So the primary crusher is one huge jaw crusher that goes like this and crushes the huge rocks when we blast in the quarry, and that's the first screen. What we're talking about here tonight is a series of smaller crushers and smaller screens. We're a very vertically integrated company, so we have asphalt plants and concrete plants also. So the stone that we make in a PacCon goes to all of our asphalt plants and all of our concrete plants. And we are excited about the opportunity to be able to make this an even better site for the community and hopefully for our company going forward.
So if you just wanted, so this is the site plan. We're gonna have Mr. Keller from Bowman Engineering go over the site plan. But just since you're providing the introduction, Bob, if you just wanna just orient the board and just kind of show, based on what you just stated verbally, where the existing secondary and tertiary crushers are and where we're going further away from the site of Jefferson.
Yeah, this is the most northern edge of.
So we're going to, even though this is going to be introduced later, we've submitted already. This is sheet 2 of 2 of the Bowman plan.
So this is the northernmost part of Lake Hopatcong here, and this is Prospect Point Road. So this is still Jefferson in Morris County here, and that's the line. So when we came here in 2016, the primary crusher was right next to the secondary plant. So we asked if we could take the primary crusher, take it from here and put it out back here farther away from the and everything else. But this is where we actually crush our, blast our stone. So we have a conveyor that's about 1,800 feet that we have the primary crusher here, we convey the stone. And this is our secondary plant, which is 3 crushers and 3 screens. And what we'd like to do tonight is move this operation,
This operation being the secondary and the tertiary
the
crushers.
secondary and tertiary crushers, out here closer to the primary crusher. So we're actually gonna cut the conveyor, this long conveyor right here, and have it branch out into here. So
And this is the proposed plant upgrade, so you're showing now that instead of the secondary and tertiary crushers being near the border of Jefferson and Hopatcong, they're basically moving to the left,
right.
moving to the west.
So this operation is moved this way, this operation is moved here.
That's about 900 feet, if I recall
right,
from your
right.
documentation.
Yeah.
And how much that's obviously further from the lake?
Further
Yeah.
from the lake,
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
So you're gonna remove all that infrastructure coming down the road, everything on the right-hand side is pretty much gonna
So.
get the asphalt plant, I would imagine?
Correct, exactly. So 90% of this infrastructure is stone construction, but there's an asphalt plant here also. So the asphalt plant stays. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself, but someday my idea is to move the asphalt plant also out here. We're maybe see in a few years to talk about that if everything goes well tonight. But we're trying to get as much of the operation further into the quarry as we can to mitigate any issues that we have going forward.
It's well, you also own Mount Hope?
So, a company called Tilcon owns Mount Hope,
Okay.
and that's a
'Cause I thought you
competitor
were
of
Mount
ours.
Hope or something, but, all
Yeah,
right, thank you.
In terms of orientation, those are all the questions I have from Mr. Weldon. We're gonna have another witness to kind of walk through the particulars of the issue.
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weldon. So Rich Blake.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's a
Your full name, sir.
Richard Blake. Thank you. And Mr. Blake, provide your occupation affiliation and your job title with your work.
Occupation is a business owner as well as a president and CEO of Mellott, MELLOTT. Just to go on record, we're not the largest company in the world. We represent the company that provides the crushers, and they are the largest company in the world for the crushers. So I just want to
Also, no.
go on record, but we've had the pleasure of working with Bob and his family for many years, 38 years that I've been here and working within this market area. And our company is a 4th generation, 105-year-old business. So we know most of the customers and people within this market area.
And Mellott conducted some site engineering to determine the most efficient location and machinery for the assembly and operation as required by Weldon, given the concerns with the machinery as expressed by Mr. Weldon in his testimony.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you prepared a small PowerPoint that we wanted to kind of hand out. We just made some copies just so we can walk through it with Mr. Blake. So start right here. Just pass those around. Let's just wait until the board members. A1, Bill. Thank you.
I got an extra.
It's entitled location comparison plan.
Yeah. So we're gonna mark this A1, location comparison, we'll call this location comparison PowerPoint. Mr. President, I just want to walk through the different slides. Orient the board and discuss the advantages and improvements that are provided with this equipment upgrade. So so starting on the first page. On the first page, you can see a plan view that shows the existing location of the aggregate plant. And then the new proposed area for the aggregate plant. And you can get an understanding of how the size is with those radius, 500 yard diameter circles.
And to the north of our site is PSE&G owned power lines and areas, correct? From what you
Yes, sir.
So let's go to page 2. And talking about some noise dust reduction that you anticipate as a result of that.
I mean, the technology that's available today allows you to use products such as dust control. And dust control is used by atomization of water molecules that allows you to use less volume but more dense spray to drop the particles out. We also use a dust collection system. So each of the areas will have hoods on them in all the different areas of the scalping screens, the crushers. They will have enclosures. The enclosures will be hooked up to a more or less a vacuum system. So we're going to have 2 vacuum systems that are operating, but each of the transfer points will have some type of atomization system that will allow you to run it and be able to really keep the dust under control, as well as the noise. Products today are made out of synthetic products where it's rubber and polyurethane, where it used to be steel and castings. So the noise level and decibel level is far reduced, and the longevity for these products are lasting for many tons of product. So we're going to continue to cover the conveyors. There's some photos in here that you can see later in the part of the slide presentation. So we're also utilizing these synthetic and rubber products, rubber and polyurethane products in the transfer chutes. So every time a stone or piece of rock comes in one direction and it has to shift to go to another direction to be conveyed, we will have transfer areas allowing to reduce the noise on that. But the dust collection systems are probably the most advanced part of the process.
On the third page here, you have a photo, finished screens.
Yes, and you can see the enclosure on top of the screen, those cross members, they're panels that enclose it. If in the front area, there'll be a chute that will roll up onto the front of it. So each size of the stone, as it's reduced, the larger stone will be on the top deck and the smaller openings will have the smaller, and they stratify as they move through the screen. And then they report to different conveyors based upon their size fraction.
And there'll be an anticipated reduction in noise level.
Yes, we're seeing anywhere between 40 and 75%, because we're going to have a combination of dust enclosures, covers, as well as the synthetic products. Just a little photo of the next page.
Just on the next page regarding the screening.
The rubber and polyurethane screening. You can see the different apertures that are on here, and then the chutes that actually have the stone report to them would be that vertical top piece to the right, and then you see on the left side the yellow pieces. They're liners as well. So this product absorbs the energy and reduces the noise. So it's really fascinating how it's developed over the last 30 years.
And on the following page, you're showing some conveyor covers.
Yes, conveyor covers on all of the conveyors that will be part of this new plant. And in each of those areas, we will have also chute liners that will reduce the noise. and see a great noise reduction in all the different areas of the plant. No more steel. So it's neat to see that advance.
And then you touched upon it earlier, Rich, but under dust suppression, and the use of the high pressure spray systems.
Yes, you can see as they dump into the backside of this hopper, this is just a reference point. This isn't the actual setup that the Weldons have. But it shows the high pressure spray that are utilized in different areas in different points as each transfer point has some type of atomization, as well as the vacuum system, as I like to refer to it as.
In the following page, I talked about dust collection.
Yes, that's the dust collection. So it has a bag house. So it's no different than what you might experience on some of your high-tech vacuums today that you use at home. It has some type of filter system. The filter system is part of the setup, and then you draw that dust through the system, and it's collected and then disposed of or sold.
And then finally, on the last slide, there's a reference to some sound.
Yeah, we've been experimenting the last 10, 15 years with different types of sound attenuation products. And it's really like thick styrofoam that you might see in a big meeting room. They put it on different areas of the wall, but it's this green area is sound attenuation. So we're not only doing the structures, we're doing the sound attenuation, because it's important as it is for the neighbors. It's super important for all of our employees. You know, we want to make sure that everyone is safe, and safety comes at, you know, with your eyes, your hard hat, and then also with the noise. So we really want to make sure that our guys are safe out there working on the equipment.
Any further questions for Mr. Blake? Any questions you can run to the board?
Couple questions I have. I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be a lot more quieter plant. I mean, you eliminate 900 feet of convector, right? Conveyor. The noise level, obviously, will be improved. How much less water you looking to use?
It's a substantial amount, but I couldn't calculate it, you know, here, and I'd let my engineering department do that for us, but it's a substantial amount of water that would be used less.
And the dust you guys collect from the operation, what do you guys do at the end of the day or at the end
It's
of the week? Is it?
It's actually able to be used in our asphalt plants as fillers, or sold. You know, we can sell that product. People are looking for stone dust. They're looking at it from a standpoint of very fine materials.
I mean, I think for the neighborhood and for the community, it's a win-win. The plant location, everything, I think upgrading is always good, especially with the recent technology that we have. I think it's a great idea.
This is a 24-hour operation.
No.
14 hours, did you say? 12 to 14? Was that what was said?
I think Mr. Weldon. You'd like to have 24 hours.
No,
So,
you don't.
so what happens is we really run the plant on demand. So our busiest years, believe it or not, were 2004, 2005, 2006. We did about 2.1 million tons of crushing and selling each of those years. Our slowest years were right after the bubble, then 2010 to 2011. We actually went down to 1.1 million tons for a couple of years there. So now we're back to where the market says we are. Last year we crushed about 1.6 million tons. This year we're going to crush about that or a little less. So it's really up to this point on how many hours we've needed to crush. So when we crushed 2.2 million tons, we were crushing 15 hours a day. New Jersey state law says that from 7 in the morning till 10 at night, you're allowed to have so many decibels that you're allowed to be off of the line. And then from 10 at night till 7 in the morning, it's a lower level. So we always ran the plant from 7 until 10 to stay within the decibel limits. So with this new plant, it's going to be I'd say we're running about 10 or 11 hours a day right now. With this new plant, we'll be able to run the same amount of tonnages that we are now, but do it a little bit more efficiently. We'll probably be running 8.5 or 9 hours instead of 10 or 10.5 hours to make the same amount of stone. So if we have a recession and we need to make less stone, we'll crush less hours. If we get busy again, like we did in 2005, we could up the amount of hours that we crush. So it's the same amount of equipment, but we'll be a little bit more efficient with the new equipment.
Mr. Weldon, are you gonna eradicate the old equipment?
Yes, we are. So once it's down, we're gonna take all of that out.
Just a few things, you know, nobody wants to see old equipment rot in place. But, you know, some of the people that live close to the lake for a long time have had discussions regarding dust. And to me, I'm wondering if you're going to use this as an opportunity to say, okay, prior to the implementation of this equipment, our dust particles were X amount. And after the implementation of the equipment, rather than it looks good on paper, you have a hard number that you could say we're 50% reduction in dust. And I think in reading your documentation, you said noise reduction between 45 and 75. It's a wide swipe, but if you said my decibels at this point is X and my decibels now are X after the implementation.
So I see where you're going.
So
You're asking for numbers, and we don't really have numbers that show that dust is leaving the property right now. So we are moving all of the equipment 1,000 feet closer, and all of the new
When you
technology.
say 1,000 feet closer, you're putting 1,000 feet further away.
From the lake, from the lake.
From the neighbors.
Right, and I know, and believe me, nobody wants old equipment. New equipment's always better than old equipment, so there's no argument there. I just think people that live there that have the dust on their cars in the morning, that are worried about respiration, it would be nice to have a hard number that says, we hear you.
Yeah,
And,
I understand.
you know,
what you're saying.
you have really, this is the perfect point to say, X dust here, X dust here. And also, with newer equipment, also becomes a lot more complex maintenance and service. So I imagine these filters and things like that would need more oversight than something that may have been built out of metal. Are there any service requirements for this in order for the commitment or the advantages being discussed to actually be delivered? There are.
And we're currently using synthetic products and have a vacuum system. But the technology, it would be like using a vacuum that was 60 years old in your house versus a vacuum that is, 2 or 3 year old. So the technology, I mean, I always looked at it from a vacuum cleaner standpoint. The technology that they have today and the filters are so much easier to clean. They drop out the product. So it's something that's really, technology has helped us substantially.
Mr. Blake, is there a way of measuring the dust issue with new equipment?
We would have to talk to.
Is there any monitoring of that?
Our engineering group and
Show an improvement?
Well, you mentioned in your material that you have dust reduction. You have to know what dust was before and after. Ongoing monitoring.
And
To show,
and the range for the noise was different areas of the plant.
right. I was just looking if you could show somehow that there is a reduction. Is there any type of monitoring feature built into this equipment or not?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So is your testimony that the dust is gonna be decreased from what it is now?
Yes.
Like, do you have a percentage, 10%, 15%, any idea? As long as it's gonna be less than it was.
Could you tell me if it rained last night?
Yeah.
Could you tell me if it rained for 3 days?
Yes, but with sampling and experimental design and
but
randomization of sampling,
But the amount of moisture, we're an outdoor sport. We don't have a.
I get where you're coming from. It varies based on the environment.
On the environment.
Quarters before.
I'm sure they test, air quality gets tested occasionally at your, so you're in compliance and.
Compliance.
And you do what you have to do. I mean,
Yes, sir.
How often does the DEP come up on you?
Or the feds, or.
you never know. They could just.
Actually comes in every 3 months.
Usually, yes.
Right,
I've worked in,
DEP,
Well, there was a 2023 finding, wasn't there, for you?
pardon
For the recycle plant.
me? So we have an asphalt recycle pile. So when a road is paved, the first thing that happens is a milling machine goes over the road, mills up 2 inches of it. All that millings comes back to the quarry. And then we introduce a certain percentage of it back into the asphalt. So the DEP comes to every quarry in the state quarterly to look at the broken up asphalt pile and see how that works. So the DEP is on the property quite a bit. If there's an issue, then the DEP is on the property, but in 5 years, we haven't had an.
Well, wasn't there a
DEP showed up.
2023 finding from the EPA? 2023 for 250,000? I thought I saw on their website. I could,
If
I'm
you don't,
not-
you don't know, I mean.
I'm not sure.
okay.
What we're looking for is if we have information we can pass on to the public to show improvements that would be beneficial.
Okay.
The air quality is gonna be considerably better than it is.
Yes. Right.
Now
That's
with the new
correct.
equipment. I mean, that's about all.
Currently
we can
compliant with
Currently
sampling,
complies with
with
all
air sampling and.
air sampling and all requirements that
Yes.
you're aware.
It's
See
gonna
where
be
we're
more
going,
than
right?
50% of it.
If I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I have no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mr. Keller, if you just want to come up for just 1 second, I know typically you as the engineer on the project, that lead off. But here, we thought we'd make more sense, just to orient and describe the operations of the board. So why don't you get sworn and just.
Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the full truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Your full name.
Eric L. Keller, Keller, Vice President, Bowman Consulting Group, 6 Campus Drive, Parsippany.
And Mr. Goff, you just provide your occupation affiliation areas of expertise and licensing in the field of engineering.
It's been a few years since I've been before this board. I don't even remember the last application. But I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey since 1987. I'm a professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I have testified on a whole host of site plan applications in Pagcon, Sparta. I'm a municipal engineer in Stanhope for the past 20 years. So I know the area pretty well.
That's where I know you from.
Yeah, and probably my last appearance here.
Yes.
I'm a resident of Sussex County for the past, well, actually the past 35 years.
So, Mr. Keller, and you, your firm prepared the engineering plans for this application?
That is correct.
Okay. And then if you just want to, and I know, Mr. Blake, Mr. Weldon already oriented the board in terms of what we're proposing here, but we have an exhibit that we're going to mark A2. You can use my pen, which is an aerial dated September 17th, it looks like 2024,
Yes.
where it looks like you've superimposed the crushers as relocated.
That is correct. The site plans that have been used were prepared under my supervision by my staff. But this, I think, helps orient everybody a little bit better. Pictures are always great. 181 is in the upper right-hand corner. And this is the quarry stretching back away from the roadway into a Pagcon. And you can see in the lower right-hand corner is the existing secondary and tertiary crushers And the primary crusher is back here about 1,800 feet away, and there's the conveyor. So the yellow is the proposed secondary and tertiary crushers, and you can see that's 1,000 feet. It's right up next to it. This is the rock face. This is the public.
When you say this is the rock face,
Sorry.
so due north of the proposed machinery.
Correct, running from left to right on the plan, and above that is the PSE&G power line and the easement, right, and you can see the shadow of the tower. And beyond that is Sparta Township and lands that Weldon also owns. So this is well shielded from everything. As you can see, it's much further back into the quarry, away from Jefferson, the residents, the lake. They've said it all. I'm here to say, I put my name on here and I'm liable for what's on those plans.
That's where it's going.
Right.
Listen, I think it's a good thing. Everything is moved further away from residential. It's further in the quarry. I mean, it's surrounded by a mountain. So, I mean, as far as noise wise and dust, I mean, it has to go up over the mountain to get out of there.
And as Mr. Blake testified, with all the new equipment and the dust collection, you know, you don't see those clouds of dust. I mean, I live in Andover and we have, I don't know what, I still call it the limestone quarry. Limecrest quarry, you know, it's brain. And you can, at points, see the dust rising up.
But we've been told that there's no dust problem. Just before.
Here, I'm talking about another one.
I'm talking about limestone.
I'm talking about.
I know, but yeah.
You know, this new equipment is going to further reduce what you're already, anything that is already in compliance. But it's a modern piece of equipment that is going to control it much better than what you have today, which is 60-something-year-old equipment.
And what would be the lifespan of this equipment?
That's a question for Mr. Blake.
What would be the lifespan?
You can get.
If you're gonna speak, just come on up. I'm sorry.
It would require maintenance and rebuilding, but you know, we like to say that the equipment will be a 50, 60-year life.
And there'll be maintenance contracts on this equipment?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Blake, when do you anticipate installing?
We're hoping sometime in the spring, if things go as well and as the weather, you know, we're an outdoor sport, you know, and if we get a little weather, you know, it could shut us down for, you know, 15, 18, 20 days.
Without bad weather, how long is it gonna take you to install this?
So you're probably looking at a 8-9 month arrangement. something
Really?
like that.
Wow, okay.
So it's a good sized project.
I mean, it's I looked at it, it's pretty extensive. I mean, it's not, you know, you're not just dragging in there and going to town.
Yes.
It's a lot of infrastructure has to be built.
Doesn't come pre-assembled.
I guess everything's custom.
Piece comes pre-assembled, but you have all.
So I have nothing further for Mr. Keller.
So basically, everything you're doing is moving further away from the residential, you're cutting the dust down, you're working inside of the area already, you're not expanding one way or the other. I mean,
Significant noise reduction.
yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah, it's,
I don't find anything negative.
problem, no. So, I mean, anybody have any questions of the subject? Seeing none, I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board and wait for a motion to amend or revise and approve site plan, Bill. Is that what?
Amended site plan.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Sherlin,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Brock,
Yes.
Councilman Kuzovich,
Yes.
Mr. Michaelozzi.
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Gladden. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
all right, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can just leave it right behind.
We're gonna take it off the board.
All right, next item on the
Weldon?
agenda. Next item on the agenda is a work session, Patrick Grove, block 30306, lot 4, 201 Windsor Ave.
Yeah, but it's not, that's where you live. Sorry, that's.
Weldon,
that's
leave the business,
just-
please.
That's on good.
Okay, that's where the applicant lives, the proposed. Whatever's happening is at 50.
59 Hopatchem. Okay, 59, I'm sorry, okay.
Property at 59.
Yeah, I put the block and lot. Yeah.
The block and lot is 50.
Correct, it's 59, yes. The address is where he lives, yes.
Is Mr. Crowe here? Mr. Crowe?
Police department, I'm sure that happens.
All right, Mr. Crowe is not present, so move on to the, we move on to the next item on the agenda is meeting is open to the public. Anybody from the public wish to comment or address anything for any reason?
I'll see you soon.
No, seeing none, I'll close it to the public and bring it back to the board. Okay. At this time, we're gonna open the meeting to the public again. If anybody from the public who wishes to address the board, now is your time. Yes, I'd like to address it.
Name is Fulvio Falcone. Live at 140 Sharp Avenue. In Paccon. I applied for a zoning permit to repave a driveway. It was denied. Mr. Donegan came to my house. He asked me to walk the property, which I gave him permission to do. And he measured, I guess, everything that was on the property and said that it was over on my coverage. I got my last zoning permit in 2012 with the fence. Every piece of property was there, what was around our property was there. I got a variance in 2002 to build an addition on, which was approved 7-0. Everybody walked the property. Everything that was on the property was there at that time. But Mr. Donegan says that nothing is on the property on the plans. So I brought the plans with me.
No, if there's a dispute, either it's resolved with Mr. Donegan or there's an appeal of the denial to this board, we can't hear this just based on somebody coming in and presenting something like this. That's not the way the system works. You have to
Yeah.
file.
I was told to come here.
Well, it either works, no, we can't work it out.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
I'm just telling you what you were told.
Now that
What
you're
night?
here, you can hear the correct direction from the board attorney on how to proceed administrative options.
Yeah, you can file an appeal of his decision. That's. There's a limited time to do that, so, you know, you want to make sure you act promptly, but we can't just informally hear. Something like that. It's got to be presented appropriately.
All right, so he has to
Yeah, either.
iron it out with Bill or he
Either
has to.
That with Bill, or he appeals and comes back and says, Bill is wrong, you know, and this is why he's wrong. This is what I have to prove that it's wrong.
And that would require notifying the neighbors and the whole process.
That's going through another zoning process,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not what I'm doing. I've already got approved for, I've already got approved for it.
I mean, what happened here? Did you repave the driveway?
What happened is that they were actually, well, I don't know whether there were pavers there to begin with or blacktop, but they pulled out what was the original and they were replacing it. I asked them to do a zoning permit, so they came in, did the zoning permit. It had the look, to me, it had the look of, you know, quite a bit of lot coverage in front. And looking at the approval back in 2002, the resolution actually said that they were 2% over the requirement.
2.5.
The max, or 2 point something, which, and at that point in time, the standard was 15, maximum 15%. So that would say it was about 17 and change. as far as lot coverage is concerned. Today, it's approximately 29, I think.
It's 27.5%.
Impervious coverage.
Impervious coverage. So ultimately, there were no, I mean, there wasn't a trail of zoning permits for that change in lot coverage, and there weren't a trail of any variances granted, so that's why I denied it.
Okay. All right, so I mean, the borough attorney told you what direction you have to go, and he gives us legal advice, so we have to follow his direction.
So what do you need me to do?
You can present additional documentation to Mr. Donegan if there's additional information that you might have. Perhaps he might reconsider his position if you do. If not, then you appeal his decision, you present an appeal, and the land use board secretary will help you with that form.
So when do you want to meet again?
So you, Mr. Falcone, I think it would be appropriate if you contacted a surveyor or an engineer to assess your property to provide you
Well,
with that,
we're
excuse
disputing,
me,
well, we're
to
disputing.
provide you with, I mean, this is your opinion based against our zoning officer. So there's a difference of opinion. You need a professional to tell us whether Mr. Donegan is correct or incorrect. That would be appropriate.
The problem is that Mr. Donegan's saying that this stuff wasn't approved. So you want me to get a professional in to show that it was approved?
This is an issue of impervious coverage. So it would be incumbent upon you to present evidence to show that he was incorrect.
You're gonna wanna start with your prior approval, I believe it was 2002.
Correct.
That there's a survey and plans on record that show X% of lot coverage that went over the 15%. We understand that to be roughly 17.5%. And then from that position, proceeding forward to current day, how we got an extra 10% of lot coverage on the lot that was appropriately approved with zoning approvals or board approvals for the variance that you now have to seek.
Well, a lot of approval went to 25% from 15 through the town.
But you're over the 25%.
But in each of the improvements that would get you from 17.5 to 25%, 1899, you wanna look at it. As sequential zoning approvals would require sequential zoning approvals. To get to the point that you then, in the next project, went over the threshold of 25%. And that history is what you need to invest in your research on and document. To either Mr. Donegan, so he can have a revised opinion, or to the board in an appeal. And we encourage you to use a professional to survey and document the existing lot coverage as it stands today as part of the comprehensive summary of all of that.
If it appears that those records aren't available, then you, and you want to proceed with your project, then you should apply to this board for variance relief. There's no sense bringing an application for an appeal if you don't have the proofs that would be appropriate for this board to rule in your favor.
Well, the problem was the front lot coverage, which is on the plan that I submitted to the town, where it shows that it's on there. I was repaving my driveway.
I understand your point, Mr. Falcone, but
I'm just saying, I mean, it was on the
you've been
plan. for
advised
revision.
that is the
Okay.
proper way to deal with it, sir.
All right, thank you.
Does any other members of the public wish to address this board at this time? Seeing none, I'll close it to the public and bring it back to the board. Judy, you're up. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Second. Need a second.
Probably.